Trojan Philly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody's getting ready to get up, get out, make some things happen this morning. Listen, I wanted to give you guys a preview of Oregon State, my preview of Oregon State, USC, and what we can expect and what we can look at. And look, I didn't want to necessarily give a preview of our offense. We know what our offense can do. I feel like, our offense is, I gave you guys the numbers the other day as far as our offense being in the top 10 as the most efficient offense that doesn't really turn over the ball. So we kind of know what our offense can do, but we want to kind of look at how our defense compares and what Oregon State, what their output is as it relates to offense as well as defense. So I kind of wanted to look at it from that perspective and just kind of preview from that way. And then who do we need to stop on Oregon State offensive side as it relates to us as on defense, and who on defense needs to step up when we're talking about this game coming up this weekend. And we do got some things working in our benefit on our behalf, which is, I heard that they have some stadium work going on. Somebody sent me that message and said they had some stadium work going on, and so it's not going to be as many fans as it normally would. And I gave you guys yesterday some injury updates, which Oregon State has 2 running backs and some tight ends, and they got multiple players out right now. So I think that's going to work in our benefit. But they still are a rushing team. They're still somebody who likes to run the ball. So let's take a little brief preview of what Oregon State, what we can expect. Let's look at some of their numbers and see what we got here. All right.
Look at Oregon State and see how they match up with USC. And here's a little brief. Here's some numbers here we can go over. Just take a look at where they're at as far as statistics concerned. Oregon State maintains an average of 468 yards, 0.3 yards per game, which has them sitting at 43rd in the country in college football. The Oregon State offense has accrued 230 yards of penalties. Now that's huge right there on 24 infractions. You guys know that we create a lot of penalties. We create a lot of turnovers for the opposing team. And it says this is good for 27th in D1 in terms of hurting the team. You guys know that we haven't turned the ball over. So I think when we look at that from a discipline standpoint, I think Oregon State is already in the negative right there. Let's see. During the season thus far, the Beavers have a total of 835 yards through the air, in addition to holding an average of 278.3 yards per contest, which has them ranked 36 in the nation. When it comes to the air scoring prowess, the Beavers are ranking 13th in the D1, maintaining an average of 45.7 points per game. You guys know I did the numbers the other day. USC is the most efficient, and we're at number 6 in the country as it relates to points. I think we're at 50.3. They're at 45.7. The Beavers are surrendering 25.7 points per contest, which has them 72nd in D1. Now you got to consider that's Montana State that they played, of course, played Fresno State. And so, you look at some of these teams, and then they did beat Boise State, which I consider to be a pretty good team. But they're surrendering points, and one has to consider that we're going to put up way more points than all those teams that they face. Oregon State has allowed a total of 426 yards rushing, which is an average of, 142 yards per contest, which you guys think, you got to remember, Travis Dye put up 100, Austin Jones put up 100, so we're going to get at least 200 yards rushing, and 7 touchdowns rushing on the season. Over the course of the season, they have allowed 77 points. They have surrendered 1 false through the air, as well as 215.3 yards per game, which puts them in 68th in the D1. The Beavers defense has been on the field for 192 plays, which ranks 41st in college football. Here's who we need to be concerned with. and who we need to shut down. I think personally, I think USC DBs are going to do a great job of locking everybody down on the outside. The safety's going to lock everybody down. But this guy right here, Deshaun Fenwick, I think USC needs to lock him down. Big 6'2" guy, big 220-something pound running back. He's a transfer portal guy, transfer from South Carolina, and I think we need to lock him down and do not let him get loose. And I believe if we can lock this guy down, I believe we're going to neutralize Oregon State. I believe we're going to seal them as well. Even if we need to control the clock as well. So don't allow him to get on the field. But this is the guy that we need to put on lockdown. All right, looking at us on defense, some of the things that we got to consider. The Trojans are allowing, we are sitting at 47th in college football concerning the scoring of opponents, allowing 19.7 points per game. They're allowing an average of 4.8 yards per attempt on the ground, which is about 177 yards per game rushing. So we know they like to run the ball. We are allowing 177 yards per rushing. I think it's a couple guys that I got in here that I think is going to have to come up big during this game, and if we're successful at doing that, I think we're going to control the clock. I think we're going to be able to stop them, and I think we're going to be able to not saying that we're going to stop every single run, but we can't allow no 177 yards. We can't even allow 150 yards. I think we're going to have to really focus on locking them down in the run game. And let's finish this. It says over the course of the season, they have given up 530 yards, talking about us, rushing in 3 games. We're talking about yards via the pass. The Trojans are allowing 611 yards, which puts them at 58th in the nation. It says we're giving up 203.7 yards per game via the pass. And so for the season, we have relinquished 380.7 yards outing, which ranks them 83rd in Division One. We have surrendered 2 touchdowns by air, in addition to 6 touchdowns in the by running. So I know that we're going to have to stop I'm not too concerned about the pass. We're going to have to stop the run. And here are a couple guys that I believe that's going to neutralize that. I think this guy right here, Thule's going to have to come up big. Thule's going to have to come up and make some huge plays as it relates to the run. That guy right there, Deshaun Fenwick, we're going to have to shut him down. The transfer from South Carolina, we're going to have to shut him completely down. Now, I did tell you guys that they had 2 other running backs that are going to be out. They're going to have a tight end that's out. So that's going to work to our benefit. I mean, he can only run so much. But when he's in, we're going to have to shut him down. Thule is going to have to come up big in this game, and I'm going to pick him. 2 guys on the defense, that's going to be my 2 breakout players of the game. This guy right here, he's going to be my next breakout player of the game. I believe that he's going to have to come up big as well when you're talking about shutting down the run. Thule and Shane Lee, these guys are going to have to come up major for us to have success in stopping the run. Of course, I'm going to couple him with Solomon Byrd. I'm going to couple him with some other guys, Nick Figueroa coming in. I think all hands going to have to be on deck. I think we're going to have some big bodies in there. Brandon Peely's going to have to come in and do what he do. A lot of guys are going to have to come in and rotate out. But we're going to have to focus on stopping the run. And I believe it's going to have to be led by Shane Lee and Thule when we're talking about stopping the run.
All right, so that's my preview. And I think just like in every other game, I think to preserve our defense, to keep our defense healthy and on the sideline and fresh, I think we still need to continue to control the clock. Don't allow them time of possession, because I believe that they had, I think it was against Fresno State. It was kind of even as far as their time of possession, but Oregon State, I believe, edged them out just a little bit. But listen, we want to continue to control the clock. Control the clock has got to be major for us. and do like we did last game. If you remember that first drive going against Fresno State, we held that ball in that first drive, man. I mean, we really held it, and that was something that I think was big because the offense can't get in the rhythm when they're on the sideline getting cold. The quarterback's gonna be on the sideline throwing the ball, trying to make sure he keeps his arm warmed up. Listen, if we keep them off of the field and we kind of do it the way we just did some little dump pads. I'm not saying we don't do a quick some quick bombs, but I just think controlling the clock is going to work better on our behalf, preserving our defense. So you guys hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think. We have got to stop the run once the defense does come in, and I think we're going to come up big, and I think we can still put up another 40. I think I'm going to say 42. I'm going to say right now it's going to be 42-28. That's going to be my score right now, 42-28. You guys drop your comments in the section. You guys drop your score prediction. I'm 42-28. Like, share, subscribe. Listen, everybody that comes on, I need you guys to continue to like, share, subscribe, send this video all over, and drop them comments in the comment section. Fight on, fight on, fight on.